Hello, I'm Mrs. J, and welcome to my math class. Today we're going to talk about percent problems. When you're working with story problems that have percents in them, there's a couple key words. One of them is the word is. Is means equals. When you see that, you can think of an equal sign. And of means multiply. So if we have 29% of 300 is what value? Of means to multiply, so we want to take 29% and multiply it times 300. Now remember, when you're multiplying or working with a percent, you need to rewrite it as a decimal. You either move your decimal over 2 or divide by 100. But 29% is 0.29 times 300 is means equals a value. V for value. You could use any variable. Let me just take 0.29 times 300. And we get 87. So 87 is 29% of 300. Try another one. 12% of what value is 129? So if we're starting with 12%, writing it as a decimal, of means multiply it times the value. Well, we're going to use V for value. Is equals 129. So 0.12, because you have to write it as a decimal, move it over 2. Of means multiply times the value equals 129. We want to solve for V. Since this is being multiplied, we divide. But what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. 129 divided by 12 hundredths is 1,075. So 12% of 1,075 is 129. Try another one. This one we're looking for the percent. What percent of 213 is 189? And this one I put a little, because it's a decimal, round percent to the 10th. So we're looking for the percent. If you want to use P for percent, you can, or you can keep any value, X. But percent of 213. Of means multiply. So it's P times 213, or 213P equals 189. Again, we're solving for P, and this is being multiplied, so we want to divide by it. And P equals 189 divided by 213. We get 0.88732. Well, we don't really have to go any further, but okay. Now, don't round to the 10th until you make it a percent, because remember, this is the decimal when it's in the equation. So we have to move it over 2 to make it a percent. Then round to the 10th. So it's 88.7%. You need to be careful of that. Always make your percent first and then round it. Because otherwise we would have rounded this to 0.9 and then we would have only had 90%. Percents are also used when we're talking about taxes. For instance, if we bought a bike for $199, tax, the sales tax is 7.35%. Find the final price of the bike. Now, one way of doing that is to find the tax and then add it onto the cost of the bike. So we could take 7 3/35% times our price of our bike, because we want 7.35% of 199. So it's multiplied. But remember, you have to write it as a decimal. And rounding to the nearest cent, we get 14.63. So this would be our tax. The total price of the bike, we would have to add the 199 on. And we get 213.63. Now, another way you can do that, because we're taking a whole and adding the tax, you can use what's called a 1+ trick. To use that, we take our price, $199, and then it's 1 plus our rate. And the rate was 0.0735. If you plug that into your calculator, you will get the 213.63. So if you only need the total, then you can use the 1+ trick. If you need to show the tax also, then you still could use this and then just subtract it from the original, but it's up to you. But you can use the 1+ trick. But that's everything with percents, the basics. Thank you.